Hello there, folks, and welcome back to Strategy Command, American Civil War, as we begin our new series. This time we will be playing as Confederates against the Union, just like the Soviet Union. Let's see it. So it's 82 turns, so it's quite long. Confederates we already selected as those. And now, I'm not going to play on this difficulty, it was a bit too easy, I'd say, as Union. But the question remains, I will play it on Expert, but the question remains with how much experience. Green is 20 MPPs for the AI. You know what? Let's go for it full. Let's give the AI the best chances it has. It's probably throwing, as I do not know this game and the scripts for the Confederates at all, but well, yikes. Eventually we'll lose and that will be it. Oh, that's fine. Yes, let's go. Let's go! And let's kick some commie ass. Union. Soviet Union. Formateczka Amerykana. Now. Big 8. Oh, damn. My pen has fallen. Fort Sumter bombarded. Yeah, but we're back in action. Welcome, Mr. President, to the American Civil War at present. Many of the border states have not yet joined the war. Virginia, Arkansas, Tennessee, and North Carolina are certain to join the Confederacy in coming terms, while Maryland will join the Union. The situations in Missouri and Kentucky are less certain, and can be influenced by diplomatic events, and invasion. Victory in this war will depend on my ability to maintain the public's national morale. So it is important to hold as much ground as possible, especially locations marked as fighting spirit objectives. If this is your first time playing, we strongly recommend you read through the game strategy guide. I still haven't. Here we have provided some tips and tricks to help you plan your campaign, although we encourage you to try out your own strategies as well. So, now, 2 pips of experience, let's see. We saw some frigates, right? Where are you? Degenerate. Where are you? Up to the north. We don't have any information about that. Okay. And they have those points. So we have a major question, folks. For us first, we have to decide what to invest into. Only that's the limit? My freaking god. Why did I choose 2 pips of experience? Okay. Great. That will be tough. Then, well, as Confederates, we are in a position to achieve minor victory even if we cannot break through the commies here. So I'm not sure whether that's possible at this difficulty level. We'll have to see. So, diplomacy. Kentucky. They will swing to our cause after Missouri is declared upon, I think. But we'll see about that. The rest should join us in time. Now we have to decide whether we'll commit a diplomacy into one of the major powers. To try to turn the tide to our advantage. I mean, English could be a valuable ally, to say the least. But maybe you can bring them to the hold with a normal staff that we have currently. Now they will be able to smoke through every single one of those, unfortunately. Maybe we'll disband some forts to protect key cities. Now, do I have any units? No. 2 ships. Oh. Here you are. Let's keep a lookout, maybe. Knows. So we definitely have to cover those locations. I'm not sure whether the AI has a script to force themselves into New Orleans. Probably, because it's historically what happened. So we'll definitely need to hold those 2 hexes. And maybe that's it. I don't know. I cannot say for sure. Okay, now let's take a look at the research. What do we have? Already upgraded. Lighthouses, fantastic. Leadership level 1, that's nice. That's pretty good. Cavalry tactics. So our cavalry is immediately better because of the bonus morale, but well, 2 pips of experience. We're not beating that with just that. We have level 1 of... Okay. Do I have even a sub in the queue? I do. And I have one monitoring queue. We don't have... I don't know whether we can even contest the high seas and the blockades in this case as well. Jesus. Our income won't be that great this time, I think, because many of the states haven't joined us yet. Confederate Arizona. Temporarily in our hands. But it is occupied, right? Yeah, by Union. Okay. Now let's take a look at the research once more. So we've got that. I stopped here. Level 1. Production and industrial. I would love to retain those cheats. We need to follow through with spying. Most likely. But we'll have to count first what we need to invest into, and then we'll wonder about the rest. So, infantry equipment. 2 cheats at all time, 500 MPPs. Skirmishers. I would love to, but probably not going to happen. Scouts. No. Cavalry equipment. We'll have probably plenty of cavalry coming through. Production. Those are rangers. Maybe some will pop up. I don't know. Yeah. Let's say that we'll have a cheat to be invested, possibly. 250. Heavy mortals, would love to. With this level difficulty, we'll have to invest into siege engines. How many can we buy? 1, 2, and 1 of those. No. That's not the railway. We'll have to invest into those, but not with research. Probably first. It would be great to invest at least one shit, but maybe we'll have something left. Now, naval weapons. I would love to, but probably not going to happen. Same with ironclads, naval engines, armor trains. It's insignificant for modernization. Port sucks. Don't worry about it, right? It's huge deal, but I'm not sure we'll have the money for it. Core organization must have 300 MPPs. Field telegraph and leaderships. For me, it's must have. Maybe one cheat, but we'll verify it later. 400. Must have infantry tactics. So 300. We need to take advantages where we can get it. Cavalry tactics. I would love to finish it off with one cheat. No, that's not going to happen. That I don't think so. Industrial tech 500. So now let's count. 750, 1050, 1350, 1750, 2050, 23, 22, 27. So in other words, we cannot afford to have those stacks. So we have to slow down on something significantly, or just buy back the cheats. That's too much. 500 on production. I would love that, but will die before it becomes valuable. It does not improve our chances to fight. We could slow on one cheat on like cavalry tactics maybe before the spying intelligence reaches the level. I can't afford that, folks, sorry. Sorry to see that go down, but we have to do that. Let's go both into infantry equipment instead. And with 100 I cannot invest into anything that I would like to, so we won't. Next 10 corps and industrial tech for sure. Well, the first huge decision was made. We'll have to squeeze by. It's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie. Now we fight at 84. We start at 84, but it will increase. We'll have to hold out. Two units. We can wait a few turns, like into 1862 probably, to guard those locations. I don't think he will invade the AI, I mean. But who knows. Now I want to see some hexes, whether we can transfer units from or something like that. Because it seems like they do not show for the Union, Fort Worth, and El Paso. Our logistics will suck, so we'll have to deploy our units carefully because we won't have money to actually spend on operating them around. I don't think so. We're not investing into logistics. I would love to, but I don't have the room. Now, do I have armor train? I do. We actually can buy brigades as the Confederates. That's an HQ I want. I mean, that's valuable, folks. That's not nothing to scoff at. It might seem like 5, but we'll have without skirmishers, we won't have much room to actually invest into. What do we do? And then demoralization will be valuable. Fort Worth, it was something around here, right? Or am I just dumb? El Paso. Where were we? 12, 13, 58, 110. Here somewhere. Okay, Fort Worth. Right. Okay, that's something. And it takes 3 and 3. No, 2. 2. El Paso. It actually takes quicker to move them there. Alright. Anything else we need to look out for? Maybe something will pop. After some territories will join us. Now, if I want to invest into like Britain, then I will have to invest into it like one cheat per turn, maybe. But I'm still not decided whether I will go with that route. But probably I would like to try. The diplomacy is not that great, with only 3% per cheat, but with full investments, it should be. It might be worth it. Well, let's test some things, you know. If we lose, then we lose, right? If I win, then we win. If I lose, then I lose, right? But it's fine. Let's jump to next turn, shall we? Nothing is going to happen now. Probably some decision events. Secretary of State Robert Toombs. Despite the European intervention being our best hope at winning the war, a minority of leaders believe we would be better off ordering the immediate sale of our cotton for gold, which we could then use to buy weapons. Current market prices would receive 750 MPPs at 175 MPPs over 10 terms for our cotton. Flooding the market with cotton would leave Europe with little incentive to recognize us, so if we were to sell the cotton, you would then be unable to choose a sponsor, whatever it means, and would be extremely unlikely that any European power would ever enter the war. Selling the cotton will also be an unpopular move, costing us 8,000 national morale points immediately as states' rights activists announced our action. The further 4,000 points when the price of cotton inevitably falls. Do you like to sell the cotton or hold onto it in order to use it as leverage in negotiations with Europe? So now we have to decide, do I invest into Britain or not? This is likely to be the most important decision you make in the war, so be sure to consider the options very carefully. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Selling the cotton is recommended if you are not confident of your ability to bring a European power into the war, or you are pursuing a strategy aimed at winning the war very quickly. Yeah, with bonus experience points, we are not going to win quickly. All three Europeans have highly advanced technology and large infantry and naval forces that will greatly alter the balance of power in our favor. Okay, if that is true, then we could actually. The convoy routes were all 400 MPPs in the previous game, so we could secure the convoy routes with all those MPPs with the Great Britain at war. But if the chosen portion nation reaches 75% mobilization, the cotton stockpile will be automatically sold at a much higher price. Good. And if they enter the war, Confederate fighting spirit will increase dramatically, while Union fighting spirit will plunge. So, it's easy decision. Further information about European intervention may be found in the strategy guide. I'm not going to read those now. Actually, I might read it, but not now. Historically, the Confederates held more than 95% of their cotton stockpile, losing it throughout the war as stores were captured by Union armies or destroyed. Folks, we are going balls to the walls. No. We must now decide which European nation will be the focus of our diplomatic efforts. The three European nations each offer similar levels of military power, but they also have their own unique advantages, which can be seen in the notes section of the decision or in more detail in the strategy guide. I believe that our best strategy would be to attempt to convince the British to join our war effort, but many would argue that all three European powers will be of equal value in this war of independence. If you would like to order our diplomats to London in the hopes of bringing the UK to the war, select yes. If you believe our interests would be better served with French or Spanish support, select no. Another decision will then be offered so that you may choose between them. UK. Unique advantage offered by European powers upon entry. Additional blockade runners will operate from Nassau. The Mexican Empire will join as a minor nation should France join the war after December 1861. Spain. A blockade in the Pacific will prevent the Union from receiving MPPs from California. Further information, strategy guide. I will try as well. View map. Now we cannot lose any major cities or otherwise we'll fall very quickly. View map. Where is Nassau? It's a pirate port, but probably somewhere in here. Okay, yes, I found it. Blockade runners, right? What does it mean? Ships? I don't know. We will indeed choose our sponsorship. Confederates celebrate the secession of Virginia, so we'll get the income, right? Yes, give me more. Virginia secedes and joins the Confederacy. Confederate forces move to secure the Norfolk Navy Yard. It's ours now. Maryland General Assembly votes against secession. You should vote against it. Anti-war Democrats and Confederate sympathizers riot in Baltimore to arms, folk! Fight against the commies! President Lincoln issues a call for 75,000 volunteers. Well, you'll soon die on the front lines. President Lincoln proclaims a blockade of the southern states. That's not much, folks. So, is industrial worth it? Probably still yes. Not every state has joined us yet, right? All with nice minds. Let's leave it at that. The generates will have a great advantage in the income. Union forces seize the St. Louis arsenal and move into Missouri. Kentucky concerned by the Union violation of Missouri's neutrality policy. Governor Jackson raises the pro-Confederate Missouri State Guard. Raise your arms against infidels. Come on, like, give me more. That's it? Union garrisons evacuate forts in the Indian Territory. Confederate forces occupy forts in the Indian territory. More MPPs. Degenerates everywhere. Look at that. Stay here. We'll pounce you like you deserve to be pounced. Folks, I don't think we're going to hold. Cairo. Confederates celebrate the secession of Arkansas. Arkansas secedes and joins the Confederacy. And Tennessee also joins, and the income as well. We need to protect our positions at all costs. Confederates celebrate the secession of North Carolina. Nice mine to improve our economy. A lot of towns. And even more forts. The Provisional Army of the Confederate States begins organizing. President Lincoln calls for Union's volunteers to serve 3 years terms. They did not take Alexandria. Can we operate anything into there? Do we have any units on the ground, folks? Where are my units? To avoid the federal blockade of our ports, we have begun importing 50 MPPs per term worth of copper, gunpowder, and other essential raw material from Mexico via an overland route into Texas. This trade will continue as long as you maintain control of Laredo, but will cease if Mexico enters the war against us. Well, let's hope it will last. Mr. President, Virginia is unquestionably the most valuable state in the South, home to vast mineral resources and armaments production that will sustain our fight for independence. Now that it has joined the Confederacy, it is essential that we begin planning the defense of Virginia immediately. Our highest priority should be the defense of the city of Richmond and nearby Petersburg, which may be threatened by invasions both from the north out of Maryland and the east from Fort Monroe. We are also strongly advised to maintain an army in the Shenandoah Valley to the west, although you should not seek to cross Appalachians, as this will leave our troops exposed and difficult to supply. Do not attempt to cross the Potomac unless you are prepared to launch a full-scale invasion of the North. Such an action is sure to inspire thousands more volunteers to fight for our enemies. So it's basically saying me that if we cross the river, we are going to force to pop a lot of units. Divisions now available for production. Add mountain divisions. Oh jeez. That's it? 2 units? Here's my production. 4 division? No freaking way. There must be some kind of reaction to that, right? Because I need to invest into research, not spend money on freaking brigades now. Speaking of what we've talked about, we need to spend 1 chip per turn until we are maxed. We have 400. You know what? Let's start with Undercell Tech and let's go with 1 chip here. Now we cannot move you in here, which is great, fantastic. We need to reinforce you because, well, that will continue for sure. 10 MPPs per freaking turn. Let's withdraw behind the fort. Oh, knight. It will be brutal, folks. I can tell you that so far. Now, will they reinforce, because why the hell not? It's not like you can rail you and protect those. So Missouri will fall, but he will have to take care of that. We will fight to the last man. Look at that, 2 pips of experience, we are so gone. The doom of our times is coming through. The doom of our times. Let's hope that the UK will like pop every single turn, because that's our only hope. We got wrecked by an unupgraded ship. Well, and that's pretty much it for this turn as well. Let's take a look at the timer here. You know what? One more quick turn, right? We should be fine. I hope, I pray to gods. Now, will Kentucky join us? No. We have to invest diplomacy into it. It means I won't. Maybe they will just move away a bit further away from them due to some decisions, like the Garibaldo one. Maybe that will be enough to swing them to our noble cause. Let's hope that will be indeed true. And let's see the income now. Great Britain extends belligerent status to the Confederacy in response to the blockade. Texas militia ready for service following the capture of Fort Washita. Good stuff. We need more of you. Virginian volunteers form new brigades at Richmond. Okay, so we've got something at least. Confederate Army of the Shenandoah begins organizing. So we cannot cross Potomac. And the Great Comet of 1861 is discovered by astronomer John Tebbutt in New South Wales. War Department reports progress in spying and intelligence. Good stuff. We actually need that shit to go down as soon as possible. Now that's much better. 21 MPPs per turn begin. 13%. Let's go, folks. Let's go. That's not too strong of a unit, but Alexandria is gone, unfortunately. Jesus Christ. That's why I moved them away, because from this hex they can attack. And we would be whooped to 0. The doom is coming. Take your time. I say, take your time. Kentucky issues a declaration of neutrality. You better be. And stay that way. A lot of losses. Alexandria, unfortunately taken. Brigade spotted in Chicago. Speaking of brigades, we've got one. Can we deploy them in Jefferson City? No. Can deploy them in Nashville, Memphis, and such. And that's not exactly what I was hoping for. Now, as was said, 1 cheat per turn must be given. So what were my investments? Cavalry. Now we have 500 MPs, so maybe we can wait on this a little bit. Invest all of 500 to those. That we'll have to do. We need to start going. Leaves me with nothing left, but still 800 MPPs. One into cavalry. And the rest into those, it seems. Sad days for the Confederacy indeed. Now, auto assist. We don't need that. I mean, I would love that, but probably we don't have the luxury of that happening. Now, I want to force you as far as you can go. And now we need to worry about the range, which is 3. So we can safely, from this hex, reach that. To the forest we go. Fresh reserve. We cannot rail you anyway, right? No. No railways. Unless we take all of that, so no. Now, what is the Potomac River? Because they will trigger a lot. Sounds to me like about somewhere in here. Let's see. Oh, Appalachian Mountains on somewhere in here, I'd say. I will send probably a unit to guard this location as well. But just to be careful, I will actually take a look. You need to know your map, don't you? Maryland through Washington, so that's Potomac. So we cannot move north of here. So let's see whether that will trigger that. We moved, considering. We'll see. And if that happens, then we are gone. Not bad. What's new? Now, without siege engine, we cannot break through him, right? And the question is, do we actually receive extra units in here? I would love to reinforce it first, but well, we can't, so I don't have anything left. For now, focus on here. This is the most important front. Let's take a look at the convoy map. Max. Spain might be mobilized above 5%. So Spain is moving to the convoys to Charleston. Just to make sure that we're clear on that. French to Mobile, which is a good defensive location, and English to okay, blockade runners. Okay, so that's what. So from Nassau there would be another one. Okay. So what's going? The British are sending help through Savannah? Wilmington, okay. Which is another huge deal to defend. A few too many of those, I'm afraid. Oh jeez, we'll see how that will affect us next turn. I suspect the storm will be great. But as was said, we'll see about it next turn, not now. There is no road. They will join us, right? So we can then push to protect the mine. That's value, folks. That is actually value. Damn it. I hope that we'll receive some units here. I need to push everything to Missouri, to Virginia, I mean. I would love to push to Missouri, but, well, that's not going to happen. And I hope they will not, well, they probably will actually fully fall. Yeah, as was the case with Indian states. Yeah, it's a state, separate being, which is not good. Okay. But for now, that's going to be it, folks. So thank you for watching as we begin our fight to the last bullet against Soviet Union. The Union, there is only one Union worth of the option. I would love to take you all, but probably we are about to face sudden death. But we'll see whether that will actually be true. So for now, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.